everybody, and welcome to another day of Poems with PJ. This is our 7th day, not our 7th day in a row, we have the weekends off, but every weekday we've been here performing some of my poems, performing some poems by famous authors, and best of all, performing some of your poems. And today's no different. We've had 2 brilliant new poems that we've been sent today, and I'm going to share some of those in a little while. But you've possibly been thinking, if you've been watching every day, what's with the silly hat, Paul? Well, I'm actually known as sometimes the man in the silly hat. We actually brought a book out about it last year, The Man in the Silly Hat. And people ask me when I visit schools and say, why are you called the man in the silly hat? And I say, because sometimes, not all the teachers are smiley teachers. Sometimes the teachers, when I come in, are quite grumpy teachers. And they say, who is this man in the silly hat? And what on earth is he doing? Why is he here and causing this fuss? And what is this strange ballyhooing? And where did he get that outfit? Does he think that he somehow looks cool? Why is he causing this chaos? Who invited him into our school? His behaviour is worse than the children's. Why can't he grow up like the rest? He's jumping about like a box of frogs. I'm beginning to think he's possessed. His poems are filled up with nonsense. His rhymes are all filled up with cheese, insisting on telling his terrible jokes to every person he sees. Who is this man in the silly hat? Please tell me how this came to pass. I'm sure there has been some kind of mistake. There's a poetry clown in our class. So there you go. That was some of the grumpy teachers I found. Not like most of your teachers, because I know that even some of your teachers are watching right now and you're all very happy, smiley people. But occasionally you get a very grumpy teacher. And that was what that was all about. So, welcome. Thank you very much for being here with us this afternoon. We're getting quite excited here at Poems with PJ because we think this afternoon one of you might be our 10,000th viewer. That's amazing. We only started 7 days ago and we're already very close to having 10,000 people watching. So if you are watching at home right now, press the share button and start a watch party. If you're doing that, it means loads of other people can see it as well. And then maybe 10,000 tomorrow, maybe 20,000 the day after that, maybe 1,000,000 people doing poems. That would be cool, wouldn't it? So that's our aim. We're going to get as many people watching as we can. Now, every day you'll know that I've been sharing some of my favourite poems by other authors. And this one that I'm going to share with you now is by a gentleman called Joshua Siegel. And Josh is an amazing children's poet. He's written loads of books, one of them called I Bet I Can Make You Laugh. And the other one is called I Don't Like Poetry, is one of my favourites. And this is one of his poems from I Don't Like Poetry. And it is just called I Don't Like Poetry. Now, if you've ever done poems at school, you'll remember that there's all sorts of funny little things that the teachers try and tell you about, like similes and metaphors and a really cool word called onomatopoeia, which is about the words that sound the same as they are. Well, this is a poem all about someone who doesn't like poetry. I don't like similes. Every time I try and think of one, my brain feels like a vast, empty desert. My eyes feel like raisins floating in an ocean. My fingers are like sweaty sausages. I don't like metaphors. Whenever I attempt them, a hammer starts beating in my chest. Lava starts bubbling in my veins. Zombies have a fight in my stomach. I don't like alliteration. We learnt about it in school, but it's seriously, stupendously silly, definitely drastically difficult, terribly, troublingly tricky. I don't like onomatopoeia. I wish I could blow it up with a zap and a bang and a crash and a boom and a clang and a pow and a clash and a bam and a thud. And I don't like repetition. I don't like repetition. I don't like repetition. So there we go. That's called I Don't Like Poetry, and it's by Joshua Siegel. And I would really, really suggest you go and look him up. His books are all available on Amazon, and you can get them on Kindle as well. So it means you can get them almost straight away on your tablet or your computer or whatever. So check his poems out. It's Joshua Siegel, and he's also got Facebook pages and all sorts of other things. So check out his work. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, loads of you have been getting in contact with your poems that you've written, and we've had Joshua and Maria. They've both been busy writing poems at home. And I want to say hello to Joshua and Maria because I know that you watch every day. And thank you very much for tuning in. And thank you so much for sending in these poems. Now, I don't know who wrote which one. I don't know whether Joshua wrote one and Maria wrote the other, or whether you wrote them together. But I want to share both of them now for you. Okay, the first one is just called Lockdown, and it's about everything that's happening at the moment. We are stuck in isolation. We are stuck in boration. No one knows what's happening. Everything is collapsing. The coronavirus came and nothing is the same. England's on lockdown. We're stuck inside now. But we still have to do the work. People are going berserk. And if you wasn't aware, the virus doesn't care. So that's the first one. And the other one is all about the things that you can do even though you're inside. And this one, I love this one because this one's not a rhyming poem, but it uses language really, really well. In the house, we're at home for a long time. So these are the things we can do. We have parties. We play games. But work too. We can stay up late. We can make cakes. We can go on a walk in a deep, dark forest in our house. Nothing is the same. So there we go. That was Joshua's poem and Maria's poems as well, and they were called Lockdown. And the other one doesn't have a title, but it's about all the things you can do inside the house. So that's Maria and Josh. Well done, Maria and Josh. Now, thank you so much for this. Now, you've noticed every day that we have been getting more and more things that have been appearing on our set. Yesterday, we ended up with a frying pan randomly in our set. That's also our living room. We've got a frying pan in the living room now. But today, I would like you to introduce you to these very, very fine people. Not quite people. They're more aliens. And if you're old enough, you will recognise these aliens. These were the Olympic mascots from the 2012 Olympics that were held in London. It was a really exciting time for everybody. Lots of big sporting competitions. We won loads of gold medals for the UK. And these, Wenlock and Mandeville, these were these two aliens. These were the Olympic mascots. Now, the Olympics were due to take place this year in Tokyo in Japan. But unfortunately, yesterday, they announced that the Olympics won't be taking place this year. But it's not they've been cancelled. They're going to see if they can find a time, probably next year, to run the Olympics. And I got a little bit sad about that for a time because I really enjoy sport, and you probably enjoy sport too. You probably might play in a netball team, or you might go to a gymnastics class, or maybe you go to dancing classes, or you're a member of a football team or something like that. And all of those things we can't do at the moment because it means we've got to stay in. And so I wrote this poem all about the Olympics, and it's called Sayonara Tokyo. And that sayonara means goodbye in Japanese. The Olympics isn't happening. It's cancelled for a year. No faster, higher, stronger. No drama through the tears. No weeks of competition, of athletes in their prime. No records to be broken for fastest ever times. No golden coloured medals. No anthems sung with soul. No podiums or flowers. No flags upon a pole. But they'll be back for certain to run upon this turf. The sporting world, it will return for the greatest show on earth. So there you go. We'll keep our fingers crossed that soon we'll be able to get all our sports back. We'll be able to get to see all those fantastic things either on the TV screen, or even hopefully soon we'll be able to go back to the stadiums and be able to roar as the crowd and get everybody behind the athletes. Thank you so much again for watching. If you've got a poem that you would like me to read, or you've got a poem that you've written at home, please do get in contact. It's pauljenkinspoet@gmail.com. And you can even send us stuff. Some people have sent things through the Facebook page or through Twitter or any of the other things. If you go to @teacherwriterpj, you can find me there as well. In the meantime, as ever, stay safe, and we will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.